Hello again, I'm John Terzak and welcome to another video cooking class here at The Seasoned Cook. Today I'm going to answer the question, which is the kind of question I would think most people want to have answered, which is how to make good basic pizza dough. Okay, I'm going to start out with 1 cup of bathtub temperature water. In other words, something that you wouldn't mind slipping into. Don't make it too hot and not too cold. It's like about 110 degrees is the preferred number. I'm going to put a teaspoon of sugar in there, and I'm going to put 1/4 ounce of active dry yeast, not to be confused with instant yeast, which also comes in a package like this, but has the word instant written on it. You can still use that, but it doesn't need to be warmed up in the water like this. That's how it's got the name instant yeast. But if you do use instant yeast, you need to use a little bit more, maybe a half of another 1/4 ounce pack, okay? So I'm going to come back in about 7 or 8 minutes, and you're going to see how this kind of gets frothed and begins bubbling and starts getting activated. And then we're going to, boom, make the pizza dough. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. Now I want you to take a close look at this yeast here. There's this little foam cake that has emerged over the top of this water. And that's what I want your yeast to look like. If you don't see this, you may have had a bad package of yeast, or the water temperature was wrong, or whatever. And again, I had the teaspoon of sugar in here already. And now the other ingredients are 2½ cups of flour, which is right here, and a teaspoon of salt, and a couple tablespoons of olive oil. That's the whole package. So I have the dough hook attached. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put about 2/3 of the flour with the little teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put that in there first. I'm going to turn the machine on. I'm going to dump all of this in. I'm going to turn it up a little bit, and we're going to, once it starts to become the kind, I'm just scraping down the flour on the edge. It's almost forming a ball. Matter of fact, let me get you a little look-see on that. It's still gooey, but now it's time to add the rest of the flour. The olive oil, a couple tablespoons going in now. So all of the ingredients are in the bowl now. And it's starting to form a ball. It has formed a ball. And, excuse me. I'm going to knead it in the machine for another minute or two. It's one piece in here now. That's enough. You can see what I got in there now. Now, I'm going to take this out. Put it on the table. That's it. We got it all out of there. Dust my hands with a little bit of flour here. Let's give this a couple of twists and turns. Folding it over a little bit. One thing you don't want to do when you're kneading your pizza dough is you don't want to tear the dough, because it kind of tears the layers of the dough apart to some degree. Okay, so now we've got this ready to rise, to let it rise. I'm going to slightly oil a bowl. I'm going to throw this in it. I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap and set it at room temperature. And it should double in size. And then after that, we can punch it down and roll it out and make pizza out of it. Or we can put it in the fridge and do it tomorrow. So I'll be back in a couple of hours after this is risen, and we'll take it from there. Okay, the pizza dough's been sitting out at room temperature for 3 hours. And as you can see, it more than doubled. So let's get this. Let me put a little flour on the table here. Let's get that pizza dough on the table. A little more flour on this end. Let's give this a few folds and a little bit of rolling and rubbing here. Again, being careful not to tear the dough. All right, this looks good. Now let's work it into a nice ball. Okay. There's basically your finished pizza dough. I could cut what I wanted off of this and roll out probably two 12-inch pizzas out of this, two 10 to 12-inch pizzas out of this. But I'm going to put this in a Ziploc bag and put it in my fridge, so whenever I'm ready to use it, I'll use it. Can you freeze this? Yes, you can. I would avoid doing it unless you have to, okay? Not because it won't work, because it'll work better if you don't. You can keep this for a couple of days in your fridge, but I'd use it the next day or the day like right now that you make it, because you'll end up with, the dough can get too soft if it sits for more than 1 day in the fridge. And it will rise a little bit overnight too. And then you'll have to, punch it down and work it back a little bit before you use it once it's been refrigerated overnight. So there you go. Good, basic pizza dough that works very well. Enjoy this if you get a chance.